February 26, 2024, missing cash deposits at a Staples in West Palm Beach, Florida, sparked an investigation.
What's your name, sir? Anthony, you're under arrest. You have an arrest warrant, okay?
For what, sir?
Is there any guns in here?
No, sir.
Okay. Just stay right where you're at. You're under arrest for felony charges out of the city of West Palm Beach and referenced in fraudulent. Nope, that was for Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office.
Yes, sir. Charges for city of West Palm Beach. Come on out.
Come on out. No. Come on out. But put your hands on top of the car and we'll back you down.
Fresh charges for you, boss.
They're new. They're new. You got arrested on the 12th.
Right.
For Palm Beach County. That was for schemes to defraud and using other people's property, things like that.
Right.
This is for something completely different.
City of West Palm Beach charges. City of West Palm Beach.
All right. So, would you rather take this off and I'll cuff you?
Gosh.
I know it sucks, dude, but this
is
what it is, brother.
Yeah, I guess. I understand that.
You got some keys on you?
Yeah, I have my keys.
Okay.
Can I get my phone from there?
I'll get your phone. I will get your phone. You want to take this off?
Anything. Yeah.
It'd just be easier, more comfortable if you want to take that off. Yeah. It's fraud stuff. It's nothing violent. You're not, you're not.
What's going on?
I think he probably wants to. I'd give it a shot. It's probably worth talking to him about.
So I'm recording. I'm the detective assigned to this investigation. Okay. You understand that you're obviously under arrest. That you have the right to remain silent. That anything you say may and will be used against you in a court of law. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So before we get started, though, right now it's the time for me to ask you questions and for you to answer whatever you want to answer. Okay? The allegations are that, were you an employee of Staples?
Yeah, I work for Staples.
Okay. And then what's your date of birth, Anthony? How long did you work for Staples?
I worked for Staples. I started with them in New
This is
York.
how the detective is keeping the tone conversational and low stakes right now. He is establishing a baseline for Anthony's behavior and building rapport before diving into the incriminating evidence.
Since April of 2023. How long have you worked at the Staples here?
In this Staples here, I came, I think it was in around August 2023, somewhere in there.
Okay.
Between August and September.
Okay, so you started around August or September?
Yeah, due to the job and just the conditions of what was going on, it was a big attributor to what made me sick. My physician had recommended that I find a different job.
What was it about the job that you don't have to tell me about your physical ailments, but what was it about the job that would make you physically ill?
So, just very strenuous shifts. There was a lot. The company went through some very major realignments and shifts, changes to their operation structures and personnel structures, functional structures of personnel. In the time since I got there, I was brought there under the pretense and agreement. Part of why I accepted it was because I was told it was a turnkey operation, and then that it was going to be transitioning to a growth market model. So upon going there, we started getting bombarded with very high level visits from corporate from all over the country, from the investment group, and with that, leading up to it, it would be fire drills to just make preparations, clean the store, get all things just perfect, and working open to close for days, weeks at a time for that, and then there would be the visits, and then there would be a long list of initiatives and to get obviously executed after the visit per their instructions. That would happen probably, at one point 3-4 times a month. On top of that, the district and company did a whole realignment to where we had a new district manager, new divisional leader, and it was very aggressive. In this particular location and area, and the surrounding stores hadn't gone through
And then-
the transition.
and then-
I'm just
and
trying
then-
to set the.
So
Yeah.
you have a stressful job. I have a stressful job. People
Right.
have stressful jobs.
Right.
Do you have any idea? And just this is the time where you can help yourself.
Right.
You have any idea why a detective will be talking to you right now? And before you answer, please, do you have any idea why I will be here talking to you, specific to Staples?
No, sir. No.
So if Staples management, how many managers did you have under you at Staples?
When asked a direct yes or no question about the theft, Anthony offers a flat denial but immediately pivots back to procedural complaints. Over-explaining is a common stress response when a suspect feels cornered.
How many people had access and a key to the cash room at Staples?
Let's say, other than myself,
Yep.
there were, I think, 4.
4 other people. Okay.
I mean, and that's just during that time, mind you, like I was telling you before, there were many visits with many managers at different levels, you know, whether they're regional, divisional, in and out of that store very frequently.
Okay. The allegations is that there's money missing, and just before you answer, I've been working this case now for quite some time.
Right.
Okay. So the allegations, would you know whether there will be any allegations that there will be money missing from the cash room of Staples?
I can tell you what I am privy to regarding discrepancies, because I was involved with investigating the armored carrier logs and, you know, just everything that went along with that. And at that point, you know, that's as far as I was involved with that. Now, with that, I know that was as a result to it being reported through the system that they hadn't received deposits that were
Did you
supposed to
ever
be picked
did you
up.
ever take any money from Staples? Before you answer,
Right.
understand that I've been dealing with this for now a few months. Did you ever take any cash deposits from Staples?
I did not take any cash deposits from Staples,
Okay.
and I understand.
Anybody else take cash deposits from Staples?
Not to my knowledge, not that I've seen or am aware
Okay.
of. I can tell you.
Have you ever come to Staples in a day or time that you were not supposed to be working at Staples?
Sir, I would come to Staples off my schedule at different times, all the time, and as related to what I was just explaining to you, I would come there as needed, as you know.
So if there's video of you walking out of that cash room with cash deposits, you're saying that that video would not be truth.
I'm saying that that's not what it. I did not take any cash deposits out of Staples. Now, and I had explained loss prevention, Ted, and other, and you know, as far as, you know, some of the concerns that I had regarding the safekeeping, regarding, you know, the process, because they were on process, and I was doing my best to get things on process to avoid the types of issues and the discrepancies that we were going through at that time.
And what would be that? What would be one thing that you did to avoid that?
So in that, one of the main things is that in that particular safe, there is an internal safe as well. Like, so when you open the main safe, there's another one, and it's connected to a chute, and the chute goes down just like every other.
Anthony is focusing heavily on the lost and found items being near the cache. This is a calculated attempt to provide a legal reason for why his hands might be seen on camera near the money.
And that's how it's supposed to be managed, so that way, once it's dropped, it's secured until the armored car person comes and picks it up with their key. And you have the second key. Well, what they were doing here is just preparing the cash and then putting it in the safe. You know, putting it in the bottom, which wasn't locked. They wouldn't lock it. It would be just set on day lock all the time. The one time I actually locked it, they had a conniption because they couldn't open it. They didn't have the key. So I found the key for them, purged the safe, and another issue is that they were keeping all of the lost and found, which this place had collected a lot of lost and found. I'm talking, birth certificates, IDs, just sentimental documents, everything from the copy center, flash drives. It was exploding out of the same section that they were putting, stacking their cash deposits up on. So I was working very hard to consolidate that lost and found, to try to reach out, maybe their marriage certificate or death certificate, to try to get it back to them. Because a lot of these are customers that I was recognizing. I was starting to, they're regulars. They didn't even know. They call about documents, and they'd be told that it wasn't there because they were so unorganized. They didn't have a process for keeping track and following up on these things. So I worked very hard to do that, to get that consolidated and to get on process with the cash handling. And I made it very, very clear on the team as far as the expectation. Once they had a discrepancy on some of the cash drops, I was at that point starting to make sure that everybody was on process. Ted was saying the same thing. He was telling me, let's make sure we all understand the correct process on that. At no time, there have been times where, because of where the lost and found was situated, there were times where I have gone in there to recover a document or a belonging that belonged to a customer that left it there, and I would bring it and get it to them or mail it to them. So if there was if I'm being seen taking something out and it's not like helping or assisting with the transition of a cash drop, then it was in managing like the lost and found and managing the excessive amount of liability and all of those documents in there.
So you're saying that there was excessive, saying that there was a kind of a mess, that's my word.
It's a big mess.
Between the cash and that.
For years. I mean, these things were going back to like 2013.
But then you decide to merge the cash with the lost and found.
No, it was already done. It was already...
That's not what I was told. Here's what the allegations are.
That's not true at all. That is not true at all.
Listen,
you keep checking, go back. I swear to you, if you continue digging in the investigation for that fact of how they were managing lost and found, and you'll see from before, long before I got there, they were using that bottom cabinet as the lost and found with no additional like separation between that stuff and the deposit. But one thing I did was made them put all of the lost and found into like a consolidated bag that said lost and found on it, and make them try to upkeep the lost and found ledger as frequently as possible, or at least consistently. But I did not.
Now we see the moral license defense. Anthony is highlighting his long hours and family sacrifices to imply that he's too good of a person or too dedicated of an employee to commit such a crime.
Break them apart and to eliminate the lost and found, and then going forward, instead of automatically putting something that was found in there and forgetting about it, make an effort to contact, to look up, identify the person, and reach out and let them know that you have their item. And that's what we were doing up to that point. But they had things going back from like 2013, 2014 in there. And that was the issue. And I had expressed this concern to my direct supervisor, to Ted as well. At no point did I go in there and take money out of there. I mean, I've been going through enough, and it's been hard enough. Like what's been going on. I was working open to close for months on end since I started there. No days off, and my family is out here into a permanent home yet. I have 7 kids. My wife. We weren't even supposed to be like that for this long, but I've been obligated to be here, which I've done in good faith, did my job, did everything I was asked, gone to other locations to help.
Do you want to be truthful today, or am I just going to listen to you talk? And I'm just a straight shooter.
I am being truthful in regards to
so here's it in regards to money that is missing from the safe, and you on video several times, at least 4 that I counted that I saw, where there's discrepancies in the cash. you walk into the vault, you remove the cash deposits, and you hide them, whether it's underneath a folder or underneath something else. So do you want to talk about the truth, or do you want to, because the truth will set you free. I'm a reasonable person, and when there's no victim, there's no crime, Anthony. So if Staple decides not to be a victim any longer, you're not going to see Detective Palacios anymore. But if I'm going to sit here and I'm going to have to accept you lying to me, I think that's a little bit unfair. I think that's disrespectful, and we'll just leave it at that, and you stick to your story. If you want to be truthful and say, okay, listen, detective, we have been going through some tough times, and I went through this, and I was against the wall because I will probably do this. But please don't lie to me after I've been looking at this for months now, because we're at the end of July, and this is back from February and March, I believe it was, and there's several deposits that are missing, and I don't know if you knew, but they're, Anthony, I'm giving you the facts and the truth. The truth is documented, so I'm not making it up.
Understood.
So, and there's videos where it's on a sensory basis, that when it censors somebody in the room, it goes off and it starts recording. I've reviewed those videos. I've reviewed the consistency, and I saw you grab deposits from underneath the safe, the safe that you're explaining. I saw you logging in on the clipboard, whatever you were logging. I saw you pull out certain things. I've already gone through that. I'm trying to understand why you did it, so that I can pass along the information and you can potentially, honestly, help yourself. I'm not a judge, I'm not a jury. I just collect information, I review information, and I'm pretty decent at it. I'm not going to say I'm the best. I'm also very reasonable, and I will share whatever message you have for me to share with Staples and management. But just please understand that this is a decent time for us to talk about the truth, so that you can potentially help yourself by moving on out of this, so that you can take care of your 7 kids and your wife.
Sir, and I very much respect that, and I respect you and your time too.
Yeah.
But this is clearly a big misunderstanding, a big misunderstanding, and I am not going to say that I've taken something.
Anthony was sentenced to 36 months in state prison, followed by 4 years of supervised probation.